Hello, my name is Rebecca Armentrout. I am the Executive Director and founder of Nebula Early Childhood Collaborative. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this recording for more information about our early childhood empowerment groups. Many have asked me why we are starting these groups and what it's for. Today, we're going to talk about all the benefits for the early childhood caregivers, whether it be parents, paraprofessionals, early childhood teachers, family home child care providers, all of the above and more. We all deserve support to feel empowered to do what we do. So to introduce myself, like I mentioned, my name is Rebecca Armentrout. Stacy Langer is also part of our team. She works as our Director of Early Learning Programming Growth and Leadership Development. She works with a lot of leadership trainings for us, being able to empower those that lead others. And some of our training and professional development is hosted by Stacy as well. So the first question that we always ask people to think about in any of our meetings, trainings, or presentation is, what is your why? What made you click on this recording? What made you start working with children? What is the important thing for you to remember as to why you care for young children? Taking that time for reflection on that simple question can be such an anchoring point for me. I know that the vision for Nebula and my why was to bring back the reminders of the joy and learning that we do together with children. Their unbridled potential and imagination can bring so much strength and wisdom to us as adults. And with the current pandemic and other things going on in our world, it's easy to forget, and our brains become fatigued and become on autopilot and forget these very basic questions. So I wanted to share with you a wonderful little video that we created over the summer in partnership with some of our community providers to express a little more of what Nebula has the capacity to do. So something that's so special to keep in mind is just looking at children's faces can really remind us as to what we're doing and why. So something that you may have noticed is that that message that we're looking to carry, it's coming from you. Colorado is in a huge state of change as well as nationally as to what early childhood landscape is going to look like over the next coming years and even decades. The children in our care now have an opportunity to experience care like none other with the support, but without the caregiver's well-being in mind. All the money in the world could be invested into early childhood education. So taking a moment to really think about the message that if anyone would hear it, what it would be, and knowing that Nebula is here to support you. Through our practices and services, we really want to champion those that have a message to bring brighter hope for children. So to share with you our mission statement, Nebula is a space for empowering early childhood communities through reflective practice. Caregivers feel valued and respected through the power of collaboration, bringing a collective voice to inspire change and build a brighter future for children. And at the end of the day, this is done through the power of resilience. We focus so much on the resilience of children as it relates to their outcomes. But did you know that the caregiver themselves experiencing responsive care, secure attachments, and having resilience themselves is a key indicator to shape the brain of a young child? This isn't something that we can skip over. In fact, it's something we need to focus on. Our child care, our families, we're all experiencing new experiences that none of us have ever had before. And sometimes it just takes one person supporting another to make the impossible possible. So an inspiring quote that I found that really spoke to me as I've worked in early childhood for the last 18 years is balance is not something you find, it's something you create. As a leader in early childhood, this has been the biggest thing I have found as coaching staff, working with families, is really taking the time to reflect as to where is our balance? So why is balance critical for caregivers? Just as I said before, the well-being of a caregiver themselves is a key indicator for positive outcomes for children. We know there are positive outcomes for children because it can literally reshape the structures of the brain as we change with mindful practice and give that to children. They have a lifelong mindful and reflective practice to continue to feed the resilience not only of themselves, but future generations as well. Much of our work is also grounded in parenting education, as well as the research from Daniel Siegel and other neurobiologists. This quote is meaningful. When we begin to know ourselves in an open and self-supportive way, we take the first step to encourage children to know themselves. There's one thing I want to gift to the children I work with, my own children, is knowing themselves, to be able to walk a path throughout life and feel confident in who they are. So on our website, we also have lots of resources and information about the benefits of reflection. Reflective consultation has now been being done with early childhood teachers and is really found to have a deep and profound impact. The time to reflect, to stop and think about what has happened, is happening and what should happen next. It is essential to high quality professional practice. Skilled professionals use self-reflection to improve their skills working with children and families, improve their ability to communicate and work with fellow staff members, and understand how their own experience and beliefs influence their work. Sharing reflections with other staff members and as Nebula does, just amongst community members that are safe, can help develop more effective strategies with the added benefit of working as a team. These are all important ingredients for sound decision-making, staff skill development, appropriate service delivery, and effective staff communication. Right now, while early childhood is experiencing the highest turnover rate that's ever been seen, it's more important than ever for us to find, identify, be able to implement new and innovative practices to care for each other. So the power of awareness itself can change our well-being. Now, I'm not just speaking to changing our well-being mentally, but physically as well. There are many studies that show that our own physiology is changed in our body to be healthier and to interact in more healthy habits, to be able to grow and learn, all through the power of awareness. But mindfulness and reflection are practices that come with time and they become a state of being. This is why Nebula is an ongoing supportive reflective practice, not just a training that you come and attend. We do have professional development series as well as on our website to be able to discover new skills. But in our empowerment groups, it's the coming together and discussing these things that can be healing and bring that sense of awareness. So what does all this look like? The Nebula Early Childhood Collaborative Empowerment Groups, we meet once a month for an hour and a half, and we have about 4 to 5 people per group. They're completely confidential and assembled based on a common goal or need amongst the group. You also have the opportunity to meet with a facilitating coach once a month for an hour. And this is that time to maybe reflect on things that you're not ready to share with a larger group, but to receive that secure support from someone who really can help you reflect on where you are, what is present, and where you want to go. We also offer free professional development sessions once a month. These topics are identified by the groups as to common themes that are relevant in the community today. If we've learned anything in the last 2 years, it's that things are constantly moving and changing, and our needs and skills have to be able to adapt with that change. It's hard. So as we identify different types of training, we've had a lot of expressed interest in being able to move forward with stronger leadership, as well as be able to interact and find that balance that earlier I was speaking of. So our first meetings and cohorts will begin in February of 2022. We hope that you could join us for one of these groups, because in the power of communities, from early infancy, it appears that our ability to regulate emotional states depends on the experience of feeling that significant person in our lives is simultaneously experiencing a similar state of mind. So bringing together these groups is done thoughtfully and intentionally to be able to experience a positive community together. So what are your next steps? You say, this all sounds great, and I'm curious to learn more. We have an inquiry form on our website, as well as attached to the way that you've received this information, whether it be an email, as well as social media, different types of posts, because we want to spread this message far and wide. If you also know someone else that might be interested or benefit from this practice, please send along the information. Be mindful that this isn't a mental health or therapy resource, that instead this is a resource to support each other in our professional practice and personal growth. If you are in need of further resources, you may also reach out and we can help you get connected to other resources in your community to help providers and early childhood caregivers thrive. If you have any questions, I will be happy to personally follow up with you and have a meaningful conversation as to what the next steps could bring you. Thank you for all of your time, and we appreciate it and look forward to supporting you further.